Oh, nice. I mean, this is definitely something to do too, because I mean, I know that WoW is one of those games where you have a lot of competitor viewership. So doing something like this that you know, hey, this is a good day to click the stream on. I mean, I'm not saying with this, I'm not saying don't play the game. What I'm saying on this is if you have no viewership, there really isn't necessarily a point in streaming the game because you're going to end up hurting your stream hours, your overall congruent viewership. That's stuff that's going to be important, especially after you get affiliate and you're really trying to go for partner. You're going to have to figure out a way to maintain a good enough schedule that you can get to 75 viewers congruently the whole entire time. And it's going to be things like this that are going to allow you to do it. This is how the professionals are able to keep up their streams and get to that professional level, is doing this kind of stuff. And if you're not wanting to be partner or anything like that, that's totally fine too. So, but yeah, I mean, I started realizing that when I found out that these two things existed, it was immediate. I went and jumped in and did this. I'm like, this is what I needed. Thank you for giving me these sources. Shout out to Law 3 on that. He's actually the one that gave me these sources. And I immediately went in to start trying to figure these things out and how to do a schedule and all of that. So, yeah, if you haven't, he's definitely somebody to follow. Law 3. He's a EU streamer. So, yeah, these are 100% free. They're public sites and everything. So, but yeah, definitely jump in. Yeah. Well, and I had talked to him a little bit because he was a little bummed about his partnership application and all that. So I did basically this with him, but looking at his stream statistics with him. I'm not gonna go into the details because I told him I'd keep a bit of that private, mainly because with this I actually do like to help people out. I've got no problem doing that. If people wanted to do like a one-on-one session, I've got no problem doing that. Uh, but I did break this down to help with the statistics. 'Cause I know that unless you've taken statistics yourselves, some of this just looks like really cool infographics. I mean, I'll just put it that way. It's an infographic to most people. It doesn't really mean anything. It's a chart. But if you've taken statistics, you know how to break this down and it actually make a lot more sense. So yeah, well, and that's kind of the other thing too is, um, like myself, I have actually been doing restreams. So with doing restreams, I stream to multiple platforms at the same time. Uh, and it's something I had thought about when I was starting up with Mixer, that it's what I wanted to do. Problem is getting viewership to view on both places. Um, that was the rough part for me. So I didn't really get anywhere. I was actually starting to make a headway with Mixer, and of course all the stuff that's going on with Mixer now. That kind of halted, but with me having multiple platforms that I was streaming to, because again, I was an affiliate, still not affiliated right now, it allowed me to be able to do that. Now I'm able to actually was able to transfer quickly all those people from Mixer and like, hey, I'm moving. Here's my video about it. I am moving. I'm going to Twitch. Here's everything I know about it. So yeah, and that's kind of the hard part for me too. And this is I've thrown it out there to a couple other people that have been around the industry longer than I have. There's pros and cons to taking the affiliate route. So with becoming an affiliate, you actually can't restream. So you can phrase that properly. You can do restreams after you've streamed for 20 after you've closed your stream for 24 hours. So what that means is if you streamed to Twitch, you have to wait 24 hours to release the content that you streamed to Twitch. Now, if you were to basically shut down your stream and go and open up and start a brand new stream somewhere else, completely fine. Twitch can't do anything to you about it being, because even though you're an affiliate, they can't do anything to you about that. It's taking your content and just rebroadcasting the exact same thing somewhere else. Um, you can't do that as an affiliate. So that's the only bad part about it. but it doesn't close you from being able to go anywhere else and create another special broadcast. So like if you wanted to do YouTube or Facebook, there's nothing saying you can't do that. It just means that you have to shut down your stream for Twitch and open it back up for everything else. It just means that you're exclusive for that actual content to Twitch. So I know there's a lot of people that have been confused about that as well. So the other aspect with that one can say too is being an affiliate, and if you feel that you haven't gotten viewership, that's another route that you can actually take is going to the other locations and saying, hey, you know what? Today is my off day. As I currently have in my schedule right now, Tuesdays is my off day. I don't actually stream on Tuesdays anymore. Uh, So, wait, I think I'm saying that wrong. My schedule. Me, get over here for a second. Whoops, wrong scene. Intermission scene. Because I literally just changed my schedule up too, so this is me getting used to my own schedule. Mondays is my off days. Tuesdays is when I stream Hearthstone. So Mondays being my off day, what I can actually do on off days now is I can decide, you know what? I'm not going to stream to Twitch on Mondays. Mondays is going to be my other promotional day. I'm going to go do a restream to what's left of Mixer. I'm going to do a restream to Facebook. I'm going to restream to YouTube. I'm going to do it to all of them. Mondays is going to be my networking promotional day to get other viewerships from other platforms to switch from that platform to my Twitch platform. Um, that's one way that you could potentially do it. And there's nothing wrong with that. You technically can do that at any point as well. You can just say, hey, you know what? I want to stream for 6 hours. I'm going to do 2 hours exclusively to Twitch. The other four I'm going to do on all the other platforms. There's nothing wrong with that. Twitch can't say anything to you about that either because you're technically following the rules. That's how you can get around being an affiliate while also restreaming to the other platforms. It's also what a lot of other streamers are already doing. They're creating exclusive content that they put up on their YouTube channel. Some of them basically take the 24 hours to clip all of the information, all the streams the stream data that they want, the video content, to create an exclusive video, and they upload that to YouTube after the 24-hour period. There's nothing wrong with that either. Um, but there's tons of different things that you can be doing out there. It's just asking. I mean, if you really aren't sure, ask somebody else within the networking side of, hey, what do you guys think of this? Do you think would be breaking the rules? Is it not? What do you think? Um, don't be afraid to ask those questions too. Especially if you feel that you're limited on your time. I've got all those going off. Those are currently not accurate. I need to update those. Those movies are what we watched last night, so just FYI. That is something I do end up doing though. I'll catch that up here in a second. But go back to what we were talking about. Don't hesitate to network with people. Ask them questions. I mean, that's kind of why I created this stream show, is because I had so many people, and I just kind of couldn't help but laugh about it because I would say it on Facebook to people, but then like 30 minutes later, there's a new post that comes up and it's asking about like how can I stream copyrighted material? And I had already made a huge post about it, and it's like here's like step by step detail on how you can do it. It'd catch like 10 people and they're all like, this is amazing, this is great. But then I'd pop right back up again with the exact same question. So, yeah, I know. And that's kind of the other thing too is, uh, Loren, with the whole thing about times, that's kind of that's really been my thing too, especially as of late. This is why I created my own new schedule. Um, I stream way too much. That's partly because of current situation, the pandemic. I'm a special education teacher normally. With the pandemic, I have been at home teaching, so I've been kind of sitting in front of a computer too much. So that's part of my problem is I run into, yeah, I'm done with all of my lesson plans for the day. I'm gonna go stream. That wasn't the best idea. I have actually hurt myself doing that because uh, I've streamed over 200 hours in a month, and it's like, yeah, I'm not going to make affiliate anytime soon. I've got to cut all of my hours back down and make sure I've got my congruent viewership again. So, yeah, and I mean, the whole streamer life balance, it is definitely hard. Myself, while I call myself cat dad, I am actually not a real parent. I do not have kids of my own. I have two cats that I take care of. Um, but I can understand the struggles that you guys go through. I do help take care of my nieces, my sister and brother. They both still are working and everything, so I get what you guys have to go through. It is definitely not easy. Uh, I'm lucky on my end that I actually don't have kids in the household, so I'm able to stream a bit more. So, oh yeah, and that was kind of the other aspects for it to me too. So, yeah, I actually had a couple students that I had to. That was what drew me to Mixer as well. I actually had a couple of students that I had to do a whole bunch of FaceTime with them, and I figured with Mixer I could at least have some other public commentary because I don't like just doing it by myself. Um, I could have some other people that chimed in. So I actually do have on my YouTube channel. There is some videos there from which they're still accessible. And there is a thing on there saying that about July they're supposed to be deleted. They've actually extended that, and I have no clue right now. They will be sending me a note of when, but Scholastic and a couple other companies have allowed teachers to actually do online reading of the book and record it for students. So as a teacher, I actually have part of that as my YouTube channel. There is a selection of books and all of that being read, where you can actually see the pictures and everything else. So yeah, don't hesitate to, if you're interested in those, jump on in there too. And I think we've talked about that before too. I remember we had a discussion, I think, along those lines. It is definitely a challenge. I made you've got you've got some students that you'll get used to, and then just in a couple years they're gone. They're moving on to the next grade, and it's like, I miss my kid. So but yeah, so I'm gonna go ahead and pull this back up real quick. So I think I was talking about it. So I'm looking at Diablo, and it's jumping to Diablo 4 now. That you're not even out, dude. No. The Reaper of Souls, come on. What? Okay, it's. Oh, I can't wait for it. What I am looking at though is because they did just release the new season. Um, that I'm looking at. I'm trying to figure out what I want to start streaming again as far as hour wise, and this is being weird. So let me come back here. Mm, oh, I see why. Okay, I have it as channel, and I don't want it as channel. I want it as game. There we go. There we are. That makes that looks a lot better. Uh, but yeah, so with Diablo 3, it's one of the games that I have almost all of the games that I play. I am actually passionate about. They're games that I love to play. I've heard people comment about, oh, if you make a schedule, you're gonna burn yourself out on it, and you're gonna have to play a game that you might not be interested in. And every time I hear that, I just think to myself, I'm like, why do you even play the game then if it's a game that you might not be interested in? Like, I can understand there's a day that you don't want to play a specific game, but this is why you like check and see what other games you have. Keep a repertoire of more than just one game. But I've actually heard that from so many people lately, and I'm like, it just doesn't. make sense to me what you're trying to say. I would get it if you only like play two games, but I don't know anybody that just plays two games. But yeah, so like with Diablo 3, I actually play it, and I've gotten to the point where my burnout on this game is that um, there isn't a death race, an actual death to the game, um, unless you play on hardcore. So now I play most of these games on hardcore. Mainly because then I'm more strategic about the game. Otherwise, I just run in blindly. Yes, I can get into top 10s on the leaderboards. I'm not that big into doing that because most of those, when you get out of the top 10s, it's based on how much game time you put in. If you've got 200 hours a month to be able to play a game, yeah, of course you're going to be up there. Or compared to the person who only has like 50 hours that they can potentially play on the game. Of course you're going to be much higher than they are when it comes to those kind of games. Whereas the hardcore games, um, if you die, you die. Yeah, it's you're not gonna be trying to just run through the game. If you have 200 hours, yeah, you're still going to be able to advance higher than somebody else, but that person who has 50 hours isn't going to necessarily be that far behind you. So, yeah, and see that's my whole thing with it is I can't do if I'm I don't I like doing the seasonal hardcore specifically because it gives me a time frame saying from this point to this point is how long you're going to be able to play, and you're also playing a character that can die. Like actually die. If it dies, you lose everything and hey, you got to this point. Now you're all the way back here again. So, but that's how I am about it. I know there's a lot of really good streamers, and I've been trying to compare as far as what they have as their stream times as well. Um, I will just throw it out there. Lord Fluffy is one of them that I follow. He is a necromancer streamer, and he has certain days of the week that he plays. And I've already learned that, yep, that day, like certain days, I won't play because I know all of that viewership is going to be on him. Um, and if I do play on that day, I don't stream the same time he's streaming because he's going to have a lot of the viewership. Most people are going to see him right away, they're going to pick him up. Also, at the same time, he has a team of people that he usually is playing with, so it's kind of normal to see. Uh, but the other aspect, though, is there isn't that many people that play hardcore. So actually, I've gone into Lord Fluffy's stream and I was very blunt about it. I had asked him, I'm like, hey, are you doing hardcore this season? I mean, I know that you did it a couple times before and you weren't really having that much fun with it. Are you doing hardcore this season? And he straight up said, no, I have no intentions of doing hardcore at all right now. So, so that kind of opens the doorway there too of, well, the top streamer isn't doing hardcore. So yeah, you technically, if you are doing hardcore, you're not really now competing with that top streamer because your top streamer might go, "Yo, check this person out. They're doing really good right now. They're doing hardcore. They're at the level that I am right now, but on hardcore." So, but yeah, and again, with this, it's just looking at the different numbers. So, Um, Diablo is definitely a weekend game. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. That's when they've got the most average hours watched, average number of channels, average numbers of viewers. Those are all the high points. Um, it's also a negative aspect for the weekends, though, if you think about it, because you have all of your channels are on the weekends and your high viewership. So really, it's a spread. Um, this kind of plateaus out. What's interesting is you have some days, so the number of channels on Thursdays, there's only 84 of them. Yet you've got some higher numbers, a little bit higher numbers. Tuesdays is probably your next best one um, that are up there. So, I mean, you could potentially stream on Wednesday, Thursday, and still be probably good because there's only 90 to 85 channels compared to the 134 that you have on a Saturday. So, but again, going back in and looking at your streamers here, go in and look and see when they're on. Um, So this is currently the live top 100. Um, this is a good thing to pay attention to during the time frames that you want to stream. So like right now I'm streaming. Well, Nat Mods is on there and he's got a huge viewership. Uh, Display Cosmic Power is on. He's got a decent sized viewership. Um, Eggman's on, which is another good streamer as far as the game goes, but one that I'd be comparative of, Lord Fluffy, is not even streaming right now. And if he is, he's way down on the streamer list. Yeah, he wouldn't. He's definitely not streaming because he wouldn't have just had 20. He's a much higher streamer than that. So that tells me that okay, well, this isn't part of his stream time. I could go look at his stream and say, hey, what is his stream hours? Also, I could go into Dat Mods. Well, how much longer does he got on here? I mean, he's got the viewership right now. Does he have like 30 minutes and he's about to shut down his stream? Well, maybe he throws a auto host over to somebody that's new on here. And there's different pieces that you can actually play around with the analytics in this to figure things out. This is part of the when I'm not streaming, what should I do? Or like the hour before you go streaming, jump in here and look and see what's going on like the hour before you start your stream. You might find people that you need to start networking with. Same thing of hour off. Like you're done, you're closing up your stream, jump back in here again and look and see. Well, is this still all the same people or has things changed? Um, and you can do it on either one of these sites. It all has the same thing. So I just find that so this is twitchtracker.com. I find this one to be a little bit more user friendly as far as how to guide through it and figure out where everything is. Um, the other one is Sullynome. This one's a bit more towards the statistical side of things, getting like your 30-day averages, 90-day averages. This is where you should really be going to track your own comparison to the actual games and stats of everything else. Um, That's what I found on this one. This one has got a lot more of the analytics to it than the other one does. So this is also the one that if you're not really good with statistics, possibly staying away from this one, only for the purpose of viewing yourself on this maybe, because this could totally get confusing and overwhelming and might even give you a false statistic because you're not reading it properly. Um, I will say that's slightly what has happened with a couple of people. I can 100% say that as a fact. There have been people that have completely misinterpreted this site, um, thinking it was similar to this one over here. Um, they are two different features. This kind of averages things out, and it already tells you right there over the last 6 months. Whereas this, you have to choose what it is you're plugging it in as. So, but yeah. If there's any questions or anything, don't hesitate to jump on in. I've got another about 45 minutes or so. I'm gonna be up. I'm only gonna do about 2 hours. It's just what I've been doing lately. I'm trying to keep my hours down. As I said, I was doing over 200 hours. I suggest not doing that unless you actually have your viewership. Oh, excuse me. Have your viewership or you have your affiliate already. Definitely need to be watching the amount of hours you're streaming. It will hurt. It can hurt you in the long run. Uh, if I were to just take the last 2 weeks, I would already be affiliate right now. If I was just able to use the last 2 weeks, um, but yeah, it doesn't work that way. It takes the whole 30-day bracket of what you've been streaming. So that's why I've come down quite a bit. I'm down to 100 hours, almost less than 100 hours. Um, which is probably where I'm going to keep myself at. I'm going to try and make sure I don't go over that anymore. Um, but yeah, I was well over 200 hours with a zero point 0.03 viewership average. So yeah, but we all learn our lessons. Some of us the hard way.